Once again, yes, it's the spectacular with the vernacular. All right, that's my big word for today. Welcome to another episode of the Punkdemic podcast. It's your man 50 Grand with the mic in his hand as MC Johnny T, aka Thick Flair, aka. Now that's it for today. We're just gonna go with Thick Flair for today. And I'm joined by the hostess with the mostest, the queen of everything, live on location from the brand new spot with a nice rippling, roaring, crackling fireplace. By the way, that's not a video graphic in the background. That is not what's happening over there. She is keeping it real today. The queen of Punkdemic. It's the real thing. Let me say your name. It's Amazon's in the building, folks. How you doing today?
Oh, you're talking to me now?
Yeah. I'm done talking about you, and I'm ready to talk to you.
Couldn't tell. Your intros get a little lengthy from time to time.
Mm-hmm. You will get big up around here. That is for sure.
Thank you very much.
Take these flowers. Take these flowers.
Everything's good. I'm excited about today. It's taken a while to put it together because of everybody's busy schedules. And I'm trying not to be a fan girl right now, but I kind of am. I can't help it because she's that fantastic.
That's going to be next to impossible. That's going to be next to impossible today. You know what
it's hard.
Dude.
She's making it hard.
You know what? And the thing about it is that we had a chance to, just chop it up a little bit before we started recording today. She considers herself, and I would consider her, and you would probably consider her, a queen for real. And she does have very queen-ish qualities. And yes, we're going to run with queenish today. Okay?
Is that a word?
Yes, it is. It is. She's got very queenish qualities. She holds herself high esteem, regal. It's like a little glow around her. You guys are going to see it in a minute when we bring her in here, man. It's like the little golden glow around her. It's incredible, man. It's fantastic. I think it's going to be actually a really good episode. I'm so glad you were able to get this guest book. That is for sure. I'm interested in this one. I'm going to actually have some act right on this episode.
Don't believe him. Anyway, let's get her in here. Let's make it happen.
All right, your Royal Majesty. We're going to bring her in as soon as I push that button so she can enter the stage. I mean, we're talking hip hop royalty up in the building. We're talking bars upon bars. I'm telling you right here. Let me tell you something. John Taffer couldn't rescue these other people's bars like Queen Herawin can do it, man. I'm telling you, she is dope. She sit on the outside laughing like, I'm telling you, Queen, you're going to get these flowers today. You're going to get these tulips. You're going to get these roses. You're going to get
tulips.
These. Yep. Chrysanthemums?
Chrysanthemums? You're just naming random flowers at this point. Bring her in here.
All the photosynthesis with every sentence is up in here. We're going to do it right about now. Boom, there she is. Boom goes the dynamite. What's up, Queen Herawin in the building?
I apologize in advance for his behavior and sometimes mine, but mostly his.
Needed, y'all. Photosynthesis with all the sentences. Bars. Okay, we're here for it. We're here for it, Johnny T.
I got a few syllables on occasion, every now and then, again,
Too kind. It is a pleasure to be here with y'all. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us today, and we appreciate you making the time to be on our podcast. Indeed. And I know that you're running a tight schedule at the moment right now, so thank you for making the time to hang out with us for a little bit.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for making time. We're all busy. I appreciate y'all just as much, equally. Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to know my role. I'm about to step out for just a minute so I can make the magic happen on the back end of it. And you know what? Look, man, I don't know if you guys are watching this. I don't know if you guys are watching this or not, but we got two queens.
Yes, we do.
We got two queens on the show today. We got two of them.
The big A, Amazon. That's right. Queen Amazon in the building. Absolutely. Much gratitude, y'all.
I'm excited.
Incredible. All right, you guys. This is about to be world class. Check it out, y'all. It's going to be beautiful.
Good day, sir.
Fantastic. Incredible even.
He's starting already. I apologize. Good day. Oh, my gosh. So good morning over there on the east.
Yes.
I'm glad to see your face.
Yes, on the east. My sister on the east. Peace.
You look beautiful today, by the way. You've been showing out just a little bit. I saw the boots. My gosh. I saw the boots. I said, I need those.
What size? Maybe we can share. I don't know.
Don't ask, don't tell. 6 feet tall. I got some big feet, yo.
Okay, all right. It's all good. It's all
No
right.
cute petite feet happening here. You
Hey,
know what I mean?
honey, but they still cute, so you good. You good.
Well, if they were small, would fall over. You know what I mean? If you had little feet.
Balance. You got to balance the foundation.
That part. But
Mhm.
no, so I usually come at the perspective of nobody knows who you are.
Yeah.
So that you can do
Exclusively.
a brief introduction of yourself.
Yes, yes.
Well, because everybody knows who you are.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
Most people. So I would like you to do a brief introduction.
Sure.
Maybe talk about your roots in hip hop, if you want to, the group and things like that.
Absolutely.
And go ahead and run that past us real quick.
Yes, indeed. So Queen Herawin, also Queen Herawin of the Juggernauts. Certainly that is the foundation. Shout out to my brothers, Breeze Bruin, and my brother Kev Fever. Shout out to DJ Boo as well. And so we are known as the Juggernauts collectively. Those are actually my brothers, Breeze Bruin and Kev Fever are my biological blood, like brothers, right?
Nice.
So yeah, so I would say my foundation and my hip hop origin story really starts there with them. And also where we're from. My brothers are still in the Bronx. So environment, both external environment outside the door and internal environment in the home, both played a magnanimous role in who I am today, who I've been for quite some time, and who was just, I guess, predestined to be, when you look at just how things map out. And so being in a home with my brothers who were, kept DJing, dancing. I definitely remember seeing cardboard on the floor in the kitchen and them doing their things. I definitely wasn't participating in that. But I was in awe observing it.
Same.
You know what I mean? Yeah. My brother Kev also just being the eldest in the home. Getting in trouble quite a few nights, coming in late and going and doing things that were revolved and were centered and rooted in hip hop and just exploring them streets when I was just way too young to be doing that. Breeze right behind him. And then, it went from this fascination with what was our culture. Like I said, the environment being in the Bronx and, Slick Rick later on, very close to us, like literally around the block where we were at a certain juncture, obviously, KRS. I mean, you just think about the foundational pioneers of this space. And so just geographics played a major role into that. Video Music Box was huge for me. Shout out to Ralph. Not to date him because Ralph still look good. Ralph still look the same Ralph, but I certainly listened to video and watched Video Music Box right after Bob Ross. After school, it was like a ritualistic thing that was done. And then seeing Breeze really focused on the lyricism and writing. I'd see him writing. I'd see the notebooks, the black and white composition, notebooks with rhymes in them. And that eventually led to a space where once in a while I would go to the studio with them when they were working on what's been now labeled as the Clear Blue Skies album. And they would be at Calliope and Chungking and D&D Studios. And so there were moments that, I was, privy or kind of just snuck my way or kind of squeezed my way into being part of that. And those are really precious moments for me that I remember very, very, very well. All of them, going to the studio, hearing them record, seeing them record, feeling the sense of the studio at that level in those major studios, because at the time they were with Elektra, which then transitioned into them having a direct relationship with Bobbito and Fondling Records and so on and so forth. But it was all around me, in the house, outside of the house. And obviously I was fascinated by it. And then with Video Music Box, I would see, shout out to Master Ace, Big Daddy Kane, MC Light, EPMD, the list goes on and on. I mean, there's just so many, rest in peace, Bismarck, like we could be here talking forever about how and who hip hop has influenced us from those iconic spaces, Latifah as well, Sweet Tea. I mean, it goes on and on. And so I was seeing it, hearing it, literally in the space with it. It was everywhere. And so it couldn't help but at some point really just permeate who I was, like just absorb, like take that in as a sponge.
Saturated.
Yeah, it was super saturated from multiple places and multiple sensory spaces. And then with that, obviously, I wanted to do it. It's like double dutch. You may not know how to jump, but if you see people doing it, you're gonna
try. You're gonna try. The
start
rope's gonna
like
hit you upside your head.
Right.
You're gonna
and
try,
you're gonna jump in. You're gonna want to jump in. Innately, it's just gonna become part of your enthusiasm, where your body is going to want to gravitate to the beat of the, the rope turning and the excitement and the laughter and the girls turning or whoever, like just that whole environment. You can't help but be inspired and taken and really taken by it.
So around what age, we don't like that word, were you taken in by it? When did you really like jump in and go, okay, I want to do this. I want to give this a shot.
So I really started writing at 12. And I think when you hear a lot of stories, I've heard 12 a lot from different artists. Obviously, it's not everyone's narrative or story, but yeah, 12 is when I started really writing. But that's certainly not when I fell in love and was like just taken by it. That happened earlier for me easily, 7, 8, you know what I mean? Hearing it and, so, but as far as really starting to take up the pen and write and see what I could come up with, 12.
Nice. So your brothers are already doing their thing, right? They're already in the mix and they're doing their thing. What was their reaction when you were like, I want to try this. I want to do it also. Was there any like skepticism on their part, or were they like supporting you and pushing you towards it? Like, how did that go?
Yes, and yes. So definite skepticism, but it wasn't like oh, hey, you want to do this? I did it in secrecy as far as writing. I didn't just come out and say, hey, I have a verse. It didn't happen like that. I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote again. And then when I felt like there was something substantial to share,
to present,
at that point, yes, to present, because I already knew that even though I was still very much learning about this thing from an artistic standpoint, not a cultural standpoint, but an artistic standpoint, that it was serious, right? This is a professional thing. It's a cultural thing, but it's professional. These are artists. And even in my home, I understood there was a certain level of seriousness and professionalism and just them being on point. Like, so I wasn't about to come with some nonsense to them, or at least what I thought would have been. So I was really working. And I would say by the time I finally got to a space where I was confident enough to share what I had, and I thought it was enough, good enough, decent enough to share, it was like, oh yeah, that's cute. You got some stuff there.
Is that what they said? Were they like, okay?
Yeah, I mean, no, it was like, oh yeah, you got some things. All right, well, keep working on it. It wasn't oh, that's great. Yeah, let's get you in the booth. No.
They hit you with the keep working on it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. There's no question. So there was definitely a process of sharpening the sword. I like to call it very much a boot camp experience when I got more serious with it. So as the work evolved and the writing evolved, then it was like, okay, she's really serious, getting serious and taking this serious, but she's still not ready. It just wasn't ready yet. And so that little gestation period, if you will, it was like, all right, well, how can you become more ready? And then it became not so much skepticism, but analysis. And my brothers, both of them, Breeze from a very technical writing standpoint, was like, what are you doing here? Or are you aware of what you're doing here? You're doing some cool things here, but are you conscious of that? He was very helpful with bar counting for me, which I struggled with for years. And And he's very systematic and scientific. He like with the mapping of it, the science and the math of it. And so he was really helpful and very educator wise. It's interesting how we've all taken that path as well, because we're all formal educators as well, certified educators. But he was already doing that before he was teaching. He was teaching me in a very teacher-like way. And so he had formulas, he had systems that he was generous enough to share with me. And then Kev, and his very Kev-like style, it was more of like drills. It was like, I remember him putting on beats and be like, on really a lot of shout out to Black Moon, of course, and my brother Ian and Buckshot and all of them, like beat miners and things like. So he would play certain music and speed up the vinyl. And he'd be like, you have to be able to rhyme at it super fast. Like he would switch the speed, the BPM of it. And he was like, if you can't do it like that, then you're not ready. And then he'd be like, well, if you can't rhyme to a beat when someone's rhyming already, not an instrumental, then you're not ready. So they would do drills. So they had different ways of approaching it. But they were both very much involved in this process of betterment, of improvement. And I think they did that because they saw that there was something there. There was really a seed of something to grow. And then from there, I continued to work harder on it, but I still wasn't necessarily ready. And so what I did at that point is I pivoted. I started going to other spaces. I had friends who had birthday parties, and I'd be, rhyming there, spitting there. And then my brothers started hearing about it. And they were like, yo, we were hearing that you was at this party spit. We heard you was kind of doing your thing. And that was where I think the skepticism or the maybe she's not ready came into play. And they were like, okay, maybe she is. Let's start putting her in spaces.
Give her a shot.
Yeah, let's start doing shout out to gypsies. I mean, because again, I was like, okay, well, the water is going to go somewhere. Like it'll find a crack somewhere to come through. And that's what it ended up happening. And then we had the whole vessel. We had the conduit, and that was Juggernauts and Indelible MC work and things like that. More formally later on. And my age played a role too, because they didn't want me necessarily involved in some of that very early because of hours and things like that and environments. But later on, it was like, all right, well, let's just do it and she'll be here with us. So, they're super protective and in that way. And it was like, all right, let's make it happen.
That was my next question, was like, did they cover you a lot? Were they super protective with you all the time? Like, were you ever like, let me do this,
Yeah, they're super protective. They're very much, my brothers are men's men. Like they're very much, and I mean that in all aspects of the word. I jokingly the other day was telling the story for the arrogant photo shoot. I don't really do the nails situation often. I teach art.
Those are cute.
When thank you, sis. So when I do them, it's more for something video production and whatever. And I could not get these tips. Shout out to my baby because she bought these for me. I could not get these on. And Breeze did them for me. He's probably going to be like, stop telling this story. He did them for me. And he was like, I did not see this coming. And so when I say men's men, I just mean support in all aspects of what that means. Whatever that means, just making sure that I'm good, I'm being seen and visible in the best respected way. And however they can be there and show up to support, driving me somewhere, being there with me physically in the studio, et cetera, et cetera. So they've been supportive, they've been protective, and they will always be that way. I mean, other than, them being MCs and producers and also brothers in administrative work, they are my brothers, and they are real men who have no problem making sure roles and that the people that they love and the women in their lives, sisters, daughters, mothers, are protected and taken care of. Yeah.
That's awesome. No, because I was gonna sorry, it's early. Sorry guys, it's early over here. No, my next question was gonna be working with them and what that looked like, but you pretty much let me know that.
Oh, well, it ain't always sweet, but they always treat me sweetly.
That sounds like you got some gentlemen,
Yeah, no, they're gentlemen. Yeah, but we do have a business together, I don't want to make it seem like it's always fluid. No relationship is fluid. Family, business, work, whatever, right? And so there are always going to be things that come and challenge things. You're going to have different perspectives, positions, ways of doing things. But I think being family at the end of the day, despite challenging moments that come up in a business setting or creative setting, when you have 3 artists in one space, that's not easy, right? You're going to have different ways, methodologies, creative things, approaches, styles. Personalities, roles. It's not always going to mesh. And so it's not to say that it's utopian or ideal or fluid all the time. It's not. But again, that's anything. So what I think helps to bring us back always and push us forward is the fact that we do love each other and we do respect each other. And even if there are differences, we'll find ways to make it work. And I think like anything else as well, any other relationship over time, you figure out how to work a little bit better together. You know what I mean? And I think also with this project and previous work that I've done, I am the youngest, and I think that they're seeing like, oh man, she's serious about what she's doing to new heightened levels. And it just continues to, I guess, improve the relationship from a space of respect and knowing that like, yeah, she's our little sister, but she's a grown woman and she's an amazing artist. And we're here for her. Yeah,
you can totally feel the love and just see it in your face when you're talking about them.
Oh yeah, I love those guys. I love them. Yeah,
I appreciate that very much. So I'm going to fast forward to this album.
Yeah,
and I say it like that because when I heard it, I wasn't expecting what I got.
Okay,
and not in a bad way, in a fantastic way. And not to say I was.
Thank you.
Here he comes. Not to say, not to say that I was, doubting your abilities or anything. Sure. But I was blown away.
Thank you.
I was blown away. Like, very rarely do I listen to something all the way through. I have the attention span of a goldfish. I'm not lying to you. A couple minutes in, you don't get to comment, sir. So this is why.
I didn't say a word.
This is why you don't have no friends. This is why. But I have my attention
on the
span
air anymore.
Is short, and
the dynamic is amazing.
I love it. I was able to listen through the whole thing, and then want to listen to it again.
Awesome.
So I got excited. I got excited to ask you questions about it. I got excited, and I felt a sense of pride in it.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if you were addressing. I know you're speaking from self, right? You're expressing yourself. But were you speaking from a woman's point of view, from a queen's point of view, when you wrote these songs? Was it for general people or for women? Because I felt as a queen that you were talking to me.
Yeah, I will say that I wrote from a space of genuine experience. With those particular topics, things that I had gone through, things that I failed, things that I think, things that I see. And me being who I am, me being a woman, I guess maybe it resonated with other women in certain ways. So I guess what I'm saying is just being who I am and the way I approached it and what I've gone through, I think it couldn't help but maybe connect with certain people. I definitely don't want it to feel like an album that's only women-centered.
Of course.
But because it really is about like a song like Anxiety, and I'm sure, whatever, I'm here for whatever comments, questions to dig into. But many people experience anxiety,
Absolutely.
Women, men, even when we get into just different gender things and sexual orientation things that are happening. And have been happening, like we as humans, we experience anxiety. Children are experiencing anxiety. I'm also an educator. I see anxiety in the classroom. So I definitely wanted it or don't want it to be rather something that's exclusive to one group. I'm hoping that it can be something that connects and inspires whoever really resonates with it. Although I do understand what you're saying. And again, I think because I am who I am, there is a certain sensitivity approach or it just comes with the territory. You know what I mean?
Because that's who you are.
Yes,
exactly.
So my voice speaks in that way.
100%.
Yeah, but definitely as far as where it's sitting, where it's landing, I'm grateful for anyone who it kind of touches their spirit, their heart, inspires them in any way, or just, makes them think or reflect on their own journeys. And I've been getting a little bit of that. There's still so much of the album to share since it hasn't fully dropped. But people who are close, who I've shared it with, who I respect as artists or people in the hip hop space, certain songs have like really stood out to them. And that's what
Yes.
I love. Like it's been different ones, like, oh, this where it really resonated, or that one, and for their own personal reasons. Yeah.
I just got the chills right now.
Oh, good.
I always say that's confirmation that what you're saying is true, you
Mm,
know?
yes.
No, I could see how it would definitely apply or appeal to multiple people, to everybody,
Yeah.
but there were just certain things at which I was like, wow,
Yeah.
she's been through what I've been through. I could
Yes.
tell, I could feel it. And that doesn't happen with me very often nowadays, not to put anybody down as far as their art or what they do or their lyrics.
Right.
As far as womankind is concerned,
Yeah.
there's been very few things that are out right now that I felt like I could identify with. That's the most polite way I could say it.
Yes.
And so
I get you. Yes.
I was like, yo, she gets it. She
Yeah.
gets me, and she gets us, the human,
That makes me feel so
human
good.
condition, the
Mm.
human condition, the thing that we all go through and experience as human beings. You get it. And you're able to articulate that. So that's awesome.
That means you can ask for more. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't ask for more when it comes to artistry. So thank you for sharing that.
I
And
appreciate it.
Thank you.
What I enjoy most about the project is that it from a lyrical standpoint, it felt like it was a very intentional set of writings. Like a lot of, first of all, it's been more of a singles culture than an album culture for music overall. Yeah. And get it, because independents occupy a lot of the music space, and it's just more expensive to promote an album than to promote a single. Facts, but people's albums are a result of a bunch of just random singles that just happen to hit. And then when it's time for their album to come together, they have to include those singles that hit. And so then everything else just ends up feeling like filler. But with your project, it really feels like it was intentionally written to follow a sequence, and it was written so that it does flow like an album. I remember I was listening to an interview years ago. I think DJ Premier was talking about Guru's writing process when he would do an album, and he would lay out all of the titles for all of the songs in the order that he wanted them, and then he would go back and write the song for each of those titles. And he would stick with it. That was just his style. Without spilling too much of the sauce out there, because everyone's got their own approach to how they, embrace their writer's process. What's yours in a nutshell? Like, what's yours in a nutshell?
I don't know if it's in a nutshell, because it has erratic moments, but I will say this, one that's really dope about Guru, and the process for me, it grew into a very intentional space. So I will say with any project that I work on, I do kind of latch on to whatever the metaphor or the concentration and theme is, like the reoccurring theme and that common thread. I will say that, or I definitely intentionally attempt at doing that. This album I hadn't written in a while. The last project I did was called The Space Between Things. It was an EP. I wrote it when I was living in Chicago, and it spoke to just the space, different space, distance, physical distance, things that were happening internally, relationally, family-based. It was just a lot happening. And after that project, I didn't really write for a while. I wasn't super inspired. I was transitioning back to New York and trying to get settled again. And my brother at the time, Breeze, he was working on his album and about to put out Hindsight. which just had its fourth year anniversary.
Awesome.
Being released. Yeah, shout out to him for that. Some amazing work, obviously, on that project. But I will say that back to the original question of kind of where some of this origin hip hop inspo came for me, seeing him work, seeing him write, seeing the music come out, helping and assisting in a little bit here and there, or somewhere I could and was needed at the time, it kind of got it percolating for me again, which is why it's really good to have a cohort of people, a community of people, of artists that you're around. And I'm just blessed to have people who I'm related to who are that dope, right? And so that started to really get me going again and wanting to pick up the pen. And so I started doing collaborative work. I started doing some features here and there. That got me going. I just started writing again. And interestingly enough, one of the last things I recorded in Chicago is actually my verse on Denial.
Oh, okay.
So I was already starting to feel like, yes, I want to do more music, but I wasn't sure exactly what it would be, where it would live, what the home would be, what the basis would be. Other than wanting to be creative and kind of going with how I was feeling. I'm a real feeling-oriented person, as you can
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
Right? And so what is Denial now was called I'm Okay. I hear that repeated a lot in the hook. And so I took that later on. I said, I could really hear Pretty Bully on this. This is when I'm now in New York. It was really right in between the precipice of Chicago and moving back to New York. And Bully and I had done something together on some of her work. And then I said, yeah, I could hear Bully on this. Shout out to Bully. She's amazing. And so got her on. And then, Illa G, that's my guy. And so Ella and I we'll have our hip hop conversations and talking. We also do what's now a Sunday breakfast conversation thing happening at G, which is cool. But we've been in conversation, and he heard it. I played it for him, and he was only with myself and Bully. He was like, "I need to get on that."
Nice.
Called it the sexiest hip hop mental therapy song.
Wow. Sexy hip hop mental therapy.
Yeah, he was like, that's the sexiest depression song ever. I'm getting on that. And so that became that, but then it became Denial. But to go back to your question, at that point I had already written Anger. And that was the first formal song. So It's Okay, AKA Denial, was the first verse, but Anger was the first song. Mm-hmm. And then, so after doing Anger, I went back to I'm Okay. And I said, I also had a conversation. Again, so much hip hop family community. I played Anger for Pharaoh Monch. And he was like, I could really see you doing something sequential with emotion-based things. So he played another huge role into me starting to pivot perspective on how I can bring these things, to your point, Johnny, together, right? So be very intentional. And so from there, that was it. I said, let me go back and revisit some things. Gluttony was originally called Meat. And I'll say meat in the hook. Sometimes be feeling like straight meat. And so I said, how can I spin this in a way that still makes sense to what's happening lyrically with what I'm doing, what Breeze is doing? And it became Gluttony. And so it just, from there, Anger, Gluttony, and Denial, then it was every song that came up after that. It had a home to live in. It had this space to gel and really solidify.
It all fit. It all kind of just fit.
Well, at that point, then I was being very intentional on how and where things were fitting, what was missing. Again, to Johnny's point with the guru, like, what am I not addressing? And there were some songs that didn't quite make it. I had Lust. Lust didn't end up getting on there. I had Inspired. Inspired didn't, but I've leaked Inspired here and there. Johnny Slash produced that. But it just didn't feel like it fit cohesively with the album. Gratitude was another song that I wish would have made the album. There's an interesting story behind that one, but I still wrote it, and it still spoke to these ideas. of different emotions, feelings, character traits that we all experience at different levels and times within our lives, and sometimes, concurrently,
I have a question.
Yeah.
One more. All right. So there's two kinds of people. There's two ways of writing now. We have people who still use pen to the paper and write, and there are people who are typing in their lyrics.
Yeah.
If I had to just guess, and I could be way off, I feel like what I heard with this project, this is pen to the paper.
It was a combination.
Okay.
Yeah, I write a lot in my phone because of my lifestyle, and so I'm often running around, ripping and running. A lot of times I'll get inspired or have thoughts in the middle of the night. Anyone who's on IG sometimes like, why are you up? Even this one episode, what are you doing? So this friend right here, I use notes a lot because if I'm laying down, I shouldn't even keep the phone really next to me, but I do. And I'll pull it, jot the thoughts down. If I'm at work and I have a thought, jot the thought down. If I'm in the car, I might do it. It might be a voice note. I might even type it depending on if I'm at a red light or something, horrible behaviors, or a voice note. However, if I have the luxury to be home, which isn't often.
I understand.
Yeah, I will write. I will go back at that point, Johnny. I will go back and I'll write it down. So I do have spaces where I'll write things. I journal as well. And although the journaling doesn't always evolve into lyricism, I think it helps. You mentioned the word fluff in between, and not to say things that you're journaling are fluff based, but I think it helps to flush out some of the things in between so that you can get clarity mentally, spiritually, emotionally, to get to the things that you need to get to in an intentional way. And so I do believe in journaling. I don't journal as often as I do. I'm getting back to my rhythm of doing that. But yeah, so I write. I do the manual. I will write verses, but it's more ideas. It's more like a thought or a line here. But the majority of it is definitely the phone. And I think it speaks to technology too, because years ago, we didn't have phones. And so I have notebooks filled with verses and ideas and poems and things like that. Yeah. I'll say poems probably have started there before even formally with verses, but the relationship already. Same thing, tomato.
Rap is poetry.
Indeed. So,
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Anything else? Okay. You see how he just pops in and pops out?
I know I was about to get ushered out. I already know I was going to get ushered out.
You're about to get ushered out right now.
I felt the hook coming. I felt it was coming. So what I did was
I did my job. I'm out.
I proactively removed myself from the situation on my own accord with my own power, if you will.
First of all, you have no power, and it's not your accord. Good day. Good day. See you later.
I feel like I'm going to go get something to drink. I'll be back.
I'm here for the conversational cadence, the in and out. The flow is on point.
No, I'm trying to keep our conversation within the parameters of the hour.
Indeed.
But I could talk about it all day. Like I felt a sense of pride. No. Yes. Oh, I love it. Like this is my podcast. I can talk to you as long as I want. But no, I really enjoyed it. I felt it. I know you like painting. You like art as well. I love art. I'm a collector a little bit and an appreciator. Mm-hmm. And I would have to say that it was put together like a beautiful piece of art.
Thank you.
All the pieces fit together. And then as you pull it out and look at it, you see this formation of a beautiful piece of work.
It's a beautiful way to put it. Yeah.
Very, very, very pleased with it and got more motivated to talk to you at that point. I was like, okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute, right?
We'll do this, right?
Yes, it really motivated me. So give me a rundown of what's going on now. Like you have a new video out every day this week, almost. Your videos, you got your video shoots, you got your pictures, you got Like,
It
what's
feels
going on
like
with this album? What's videos you
yeah,
sent?
so listen, there's been so much love and support and sharing, and I'm overwhelmed in the best way, and so much gratitude. The videos have been helping to support. I think that's one space when we talk about growth and ways to do things differently and intentionality. There wasn't a lot of visibility before. Shout out to JB. JB always calls me a phantom. He's like, "Oh, peace, phantom." He's like, "I never see
Same.
you." And so, but visibility when you're an artist, it is essential. Have this conversation. Shout out to Poison Pen, who's on Arrogant, and is a genuine friend. And so we have these talks, and he often reminds me, like, you need to be out here. I think it becomes a challenge because I have another full-time job. I'm an educator full-time. I'm an artist trying to be full-time at it. I'm always that. So when I say trying to be, I just mean actively out and physical, because
I get it.
I go to sleep as an artist, right?
I get
I
it.
wake up
We do this.
we do this, we are this.
Correct.
However, from a time, space, reality, the visuals are so important because you need to be seen, you need to be out there differently, you need to be in them streets in a good way. And so they've been helping, they've
I
been
get it.
helping. And I have been, every moment that I get in between writing, teaching, mommying, although my baby, she ain't a baby no more, but, just communicating with my daughter and my family. I'm out here shooting a video, getting my hair did, doing my makeup, getting ready for these things, putting on fake nails for the visuals. And it's actually been a huge support to getting the music more seen and visible and out there and heard. So yeah, the first one that we did formally was Focus. Focus is produced by Kid Bear One. Jimmy shot that one. And so that really got some great things going conversationally. After that, we dropped Manifest formally. And so Manifest just came out. Shout out to High Def, ATL, and then Swavsky and Lens out in CT. They supported through Apathy, that's Apathy's fam and peeps. And so again, there's just been so much support. So that video went down. Shabam was not on the song, but shout out to Shabam Sadiq because he was actually in the video in ATL. It was just some family superstition.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Shabam was in there.
I need to meet somebody named Shabam. Now, just because.
Oh,
I'm just throwing it out there because
that's my
other
big brother, man. Like I said, so much family. Mickey Fax is on that. Shout out to Mickey. App is on that, and Superstition produced the beat. So the one thing in addition to the visibility with the music and the videos has just been additional visibility because of community and collaborations. And I was very intentional with that too, just wanting to work with people who I love and respect from a musical standpoint, from an artistic based standpoint. And I've been blessed. So many people have been down to collaborate with me. And so the videos, the collaboration, all these things are really helping to make things more pronounced and seen and heard. And that's amazing. We just did Arrogant. Shout out to Carlos and Angie. Listen, Johnny Slash produced it. Poison Pen is featured on it. And Classic Materials, man. Whoo, that guy does so much. He just does so much. And so that video, I don't even think
you looked fantastic, by the way.
I don't even
said,
I'm
what
ready.
is happening? I had to go home and get dressed after I saw that. I said, I need to put something else on.
Honey, listen. I came in
absolutely. Yes, you did.
It was amazing though. And that was such an important song because we don't big ourselves up enough. Shout out to Carrying the Culture. We had a conversation and he, I shared with him the song, which he and his wife absolutely love. And we talk about it. And he said something that really resonated. He said, look, when I listen to this song, it gets me going. Sometimes you need something to get up, get through your day. Sometimes you may not be feeling your best self. and you throw on Arrogant and you start just he says, I start wanting to throw furniture, but
Not throw furniture.
he's hilarious.
Wow.
By the way. Absolutely
Okay.
love him. Obviously, a little hyperbole there, but he's absolutely right in the sense of sometimes we need something to just make us feel better,
Good about
get us through the day, good
ourselves.
about ourselves. And the fact that it resonated like that for him really, really touched my heart, meant a lot. And I play Arrogant when I'm having a moment and I just need something to hype up. Normally that's shook ones for me. Normally, shout out to Havoc and of course Prodigy RP, but I will throw on some shook ones when
There you
I need
go.
to just get it right here.
Everybody has that theme song. They say you play a theme song in your head when you walk down the street. Well, some of us do.
Man,
I do. I'm ridiculous. So
word up.
I hear my theme song when I get up in the morning. I'm like, okay, I'm dragging today. Theme song on, bam.
Indeed. So
yeah.
we need that. And honestly, on the album, Arrogant is that for me. Arrogant is that for me. So yeah, the videos are going. Arrogant is going to be dropping synonymously with the album drop, which is February 28th. We also have Anxiety coming out. There'll be visuals for Anxiety. We have Shame dropping. There are visuals for Shame. And shout out to Open Mike Eagle on that one, huge, and King Rem on the production. So look, there's so much more in store, and I'm just like treat after treat after treat. There's a lot more. It's to the point I might as well do. One of my homegirls said, yo, shout out to Elize. She said, yo, you should just do a video album, like drop that. You have like a video for everyone just about. So we'll see how that
would be cool. You probably enjoy that very much.
I think so. Yes.
Well, no, when you were talking about being seen and all of that, like that's an issue for me. Last year, I wouldn't go in front of the camera. This year, I'm on a podcast, right? Day and night. And what I found was when you push yourself out of your comfort zone, a lot of the times it's for your own good, right? And so you could be running around in your sweatpants and a t-shirt, but you know that if you're going to go do this video shoot, you got to have the hair, you got to have the nails, and you put on your makeup, and then you look, you turn around, you're like, who's that? Right? Absolutely. And you're feeling yourself the rest of the day, so it kind of pushed me in a space where, I don't know how long you wore them boots, but those boots.
The irony about those boots, those you actually wear for a while, the ones that I had on. Now, pardon me, I had some other boots I was going to wear that you don't keep those bad boys on too long.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the ones I was wearing for Arrogant, they have a nice chunk heel, so you can kind of rock with them for a minute. But I'm glad that you're in front of the camera as well. And honestly, I'd love for you to speak about that a little bit, because I have some thoughts about that with me. Why haven't I been as visible? I'm wondering why you haven't been as visible. I'm just curious. Now, I know it's your show. I'm feeling like maybe there's some synergy here, which is why I'm asking.
As far as the camera in general?
Yeah.
Well, gosh, like everybody else, childhood.
Mm-hmm.
It goes all the way back to childhood things, hiding from the camera when I was younger, and being the black sheep and feeling not a part of. And then, I have a shirt that I put out for Punkdemic for domestic violence. Okay. And that's because, change the subject really quickly, that's because that's part of my narrative, so to speak.
Got you.
So I grew up feeling like I wasn't pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I responded to the word ugly. So if you feel that way, the last thing you want to do is be in front of the camera.
Yeah. So I appreciate you sharing, not to be invasive. The reason I asked,
right ahead.
And shout out to you and the bravery of just saying, hey, I'm going to push forward and push past the fears of things. Fear was another a track that I had on that didn't manifest fully into the album, but I did start writing. But yeah, similarly for me growing up, I've always been on the thicker side. I have cousins who are like really super petite, and there's always been this sense of conscientiousness when it came to just weight, how I looked, and because of that, how you felt. And not just being critical on myself, but even other people, even family, certain, not my brothers, but certain family members,
aunties and cousins and things.
Them aunties who you don't see every day,
Mm-hmm.
especially, go to the islands. Oh, gal, you get fat, like that's a compliment. Like that's some Caribbean stuff.
You like the fatty over there for sure.
Yeah, thank you. I would love to hear that at 10, 11 years old when my body is changing and going through transitional moments.
You're like, no,
sweet, auntie, thank you. I'll come visit you next year. Never.
No, I will not.
So that plays a role and becomes this foundation, and it sits in your psyche for a minute. And even at points where I've been smaller, and I've lost weight, there was, I think, still this insecurity and discomfort in moments with my body. And so I ask you that because I would love to just transparently share my narrative and story.
Yes, 100%.
And yeah, even though I'm not where I want to be, like I still have some goals with where I want to be, not just from a space of vanity at this point, but health-wise and things like that. We've grown older a little bit, just a hint. And so just a little bit. And so it's a combination of both, of course, but being on stage in these videos, there were many days when I was like, I pushed it back. No, I'm not ready. No, we don't need a video. No, I don't feel comfortable, or, and even though I'm not, exactly where I want to be, I'm like, I cannot waste any more time. And there's beauty right where I am,
100%.
right exactly how I am. There are some men who certainly love a little bit extra flesh.
Please don't say that too loud. He'll come back in the room. Don't, Johnny, don't you dare.
Flesh? Did I hear flesh?
No.
Great thick flair here.
He calls himself Thick Flair.
Woo.
No.
Bring them on, baby. Mile to mile.
You see what I'm saying?
From the east to the west.
Don't start,
from the north
man.
to the south. Bring them on, pal.
I apologize.
Bring on the obesity.
I was apologizing in advance.
I like it all.
Sometimes we have to get out of our own heads. Sometimes we have to get out of our own heads and just
Johnny Taylor, no hand gestures. Oh my God. Okay.
Just let it be. Let it be.
Excuse me. We were talking. I'm gonna need you and your hand gestures to go. Pardon me.
Yes, I'm here to embrace all of it.
He's trying to embrace it right now. He needs to stop.
Seeing that.
No, but what I was gonna say.
Yes.
What I told myself was, I may not be where I want to be just yet.
Yes.
But I am here.
Now. Indeed. Exactly.
And so I had to embrace where I am right now and love where I'm at right now and love the process of getting wherever I want to be, right?
That part. Absolutely.
But we can be very critical and, with social media and how, all you see are these women with a size 2 waist and a 44 backside, and everything is manufactured and photos are photoshopped, and the whole comparison thing. How do you add up to something or compare yourself to something that's not even real? Right?
And you'll
never be that.
And you can't. That's the whole
you
thing.
Shouldn't.
Yes, you shouldn't. And that's where the demise happens. That's where all kind of things happen on an emotional and esteem-based level. So it is about loving exactly where you are, who you are, and the process, and letting people see it. And I will say there are people who I've seen also. We talk about social media and that sense of perfectionism, but there are also people, men, women, who share their journey and are courageous enough to do that and show the process. And of course, those are always inspiring. So why not add to that? Why not be that and be in your authentic self? And it happens from an artistic standpoint. There's been a whole level of growth and evolution as a writer and as an MC and as a mother and hopefully a partner. So when you think about process-oriented things and people seeing you maybe not as your best self, it does, or it should improve over time. It should refine over time. You should trim a lot of fat, metaphorically speaking as well, with the way that you just are and who you are. It's about getting better.
100%. Well, give us a little info. Where can we find you? Where can we find your music? Where can we find this album?
Yes. So the album, actually, you can go to my Bandcamp right now. You can go to Queen Herawin's Bandcamp right now. Yes, sir. And you can pre-order. You can pre-order the vinyl. We have a limited
picture
vinyl. Thank you. Yes. Listen, shout out to Hip Hop Junkie. My sister Madi did the artwork for the cover.
Beautiful.
Yes. Concept also did some work for the back. And so you can get it on Bandcamp right now as far as pre-ordering for the vinyl. We have a gold, we got a splatter, we got 2 options. The best way to find me is Instagram, The Queen Herawin, at The Queen Herawin, spelled Herawin. And through there, yeah, the links will bring you to the Bandcamp, the links will bring you to the link tree, the links will bring you to the videos and things. So
keyword is link.
Keyword is link, basically, if you're not hearing the redundancy. But yeah, and also at the Juggernauts, that's my other home team. So you could also hit up there, but definitely the direct link would be to go to at the Queen Herawin. I do Facebook, but not enough. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I've been on it in a minute, and I'm trying to get into TikTok, but really the main place to find me, exactly. The main place to find me is just Instagram. If you're really trying to reach out and connect with me, that is the best surefire way to do it. And if you want the album, the digital stuff that's available now, iTunes, all digital media foundations, you can find it there. Or you can just do that and pre-order your vinyl through Bandcamp.
I pre-ordered my vinyl.
Hey, now, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so we get it. You can get it digitally.
I'm ready.
And then get the whole thing on the 28th of February. It drops digitally and vinyl.
I'm not gonna lie. So like while you guys were doing the interview stuff, I was off screen and I went over to Bandcamp and I put my order in already.
Oh,
and the thing about it is, folks, you guys gotta understand this. This is not a purchase, it's an investment.
Ooh.
It really is. It really is. And I mean, I don't really big up too many of our music guests on here, like not in that space, not like that. Not enough to where, and I've heard, I was privileged enough to hear this already.
Thank
you. I already knew what I was getting. Sitting there waiting. I was sitting there waiting for a way to support it, and to support it beyond a 0.5 cent or 1/4 cent that you get per stream on Spotify and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so if you guys are hip hop heads out there, if you want something that's substantial, you want a project that you can really, really like get into layers deep, and something that can resonate, and something that you can listen to over and over and over again, and then take a break from it and then miss it and then come back to it again. Like that's the plug for that. Like this will be worth it. It'll be worth it. I know everybody don't got the record players anymore. Right. Still go get the vinyl because it's just a physical representation for it. Someday you might get lucky enough to run across the queen, not the queen of everything Amazon, but Queen Herawin in this particular case, and get an autograph from said Queen Herawin or something along those lines. So get out there, go hit the pre-link. I mean, go get that pre-buy link, go get it. Don't wait, take action now. That's right. I've been running across all of these different master classes, and they say there's a difference between those who dream and do. So don't dream of a dope album. Do go out and get one. It's available. Hip hoppers always talk about ain't no dope hip hop anymore.
Yes,
this has been an incredible run for hip hop for 2024, rolling into 2025. And when we got people like Common and Pete Rock up for multiple Grammy nominations, which
as they deserve.
If I had to clump Queen Herawin's album in, if you are a fan of that album, Common and Pete Rock, you are going to enjoy Queen Herawin, because the Queen Herawin album broke. Like when I hear an album, I'm on repeat on that bad boy. Like I will wear it out. Like,
and he has been.
I will wear the MP off of that MP3. It'll just be gone, right? And I was wearing the hell out of that Common Pete Rock album.
Yeah.
But then I was introduced to that Queen Herawin project.
Thank you.
And I mean, and I wore the hell out of my of my freebie link.
As you should.
I wore the hell out of it. So I'm telling you, if you guys are really into, like, really want a dope project, something that's sometimes with albums, the lyricism is just super, super great, and then the tracks are just lackluster. And it's sometimes the beat which just overpowers, the power of the words that are being said. Like the words just don't match up to the beat. But this one, we got a cohesive project with this one. And it flows,
I appreciate
y'all.
you saying that, because that was real. Thank you.
True.
I was very serious about them tracks, and Breeze was like, "Yo, you picked some heat."
This is so good.
So
winners.
Shout out to all the producers, yes, and all the artists on here with me. Thank you for saying that, Johnny. I appreciate you.
I couldn't say it if it wasn't true.
Yeah,
I couldn't say it if it wasn't true, and I really enjoyed the project. And sometimes they say you don't want to meet your heroes, or you don't want to meet people that have done something really great in other places, because then they end up being not such great people. They're not as great as their accomplishments. But man, this has been great. Cool people with a cool project. 2025 it's about to be a vibe, y'all. So make sure you guys get out there and go get the project, dude. Don't say your support, show your support, take it to the retail. I mean, it's for a donation. It's a suggested minimum amount for that donation, but you can do more. And I certainly did, because we got to be able to support. We got to show our support for these artists that are doing something out there.
Look at you.
A lot of noise. There's a lot of noise, but this one right here, this is the one.
You really were well behaved today.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have some, dude. It's different when there's more than one queen on the set. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, double queendom right here.
That's right. It kind of kept you in check, I guess. Wow. Well, go ahead and do your.
It's different when it's two queens. So anyway, I know that I rambled on a lot, but I felt like I have to really plug this one. I just feel like this one just have to get the plug for it. And then if you want to. We can chop this up. If you want to make this one of your ads that you run, have at it.
Wow,
hey, that would be dope. Why not?
We'll make sure we send you the clip of that as well, too. But it's really an album worth checking out, folks. Like,
it is.
All kidding aside, it's worth checking out. So we are going into Punkdemic overtime because of me right now, but it was worth it for this one. So Queen Herawin, if you have anything else you want to plug real quickly, like you.
Just much gratitude. I've plugged and plugged away. Just thank you to everybody on the album who's been a part. Thank you, Johnny T. Thank you, Amazon, for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited.
Absolute pleasure. Just chilling with y'all, talking with y'all. And I just, all of this is really important to help spread the word. 100%. And I'm just grateful. Thank you so much. I appreciate both of y'all. And y'all have me laughing. So thank you.
That's what we will do. If anything, we're funny.
I love it. Y'all are beautiful.
Informative, not always. Educational, not always.
No, all of the above.
Yes.
Y'all are all the things. I appreciate it.
All right, Johnny, go ahead and wrap us up. And so we have this thing where we don't have a line that we say when we're leaving. We haven't figured out what that is yet. So we just kind of wing it towards the end. Sometimes the guests throw stuff out. Who said love, peace, and hair grease? Which one was that? One of the guests threw that out. I said, listen, we're not doing that.
I'll say manifest what you really want for this 2025, since we're talking about manifestation. Manifest your best. Manifest your best.
I'll take it.
Let's run with that one for today. Let's run from a position of strength and power, because there's a lot of people who feel less strength and less power. The conditions of our country and new leadership, which is taking us back to old ways in some ways. So we'll just leave it at that for today. Like last year, we are out of here. Signing off. Punkdemic in the building. Queen Herawin, queen of everything. Amazon Punkdemic LLC. I didn't plug the website today.
That's okay.
I usually do it every time, so I won't plug punkdemic.com where you can go get all your Punkdemic gear. That we won't do that today.
Oh,
but we'll say that for the next time around.
Do that next time.
We'll save that whole thing for the next time around. All right.
Thank you.
I'm about to push the button, yo. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We appreciate you. And we are out of here. Peace.
No, you didn't. This is why we don't have no friends, man.